This is NDTV, and you're watching Classics.
Welcome to Born Wild, the show that takes you to the heart of wild India. It takes you up close and personal to some of India's most endangered animals and the people who help them fight for their survival. In today's show, we go all the way across to the west, to Saurashtra in Gujarat, to the Gir Sanctuary and National Park, the last home to the wild Asiatic lion. Once the Asiatic lion roamed across Asia. In fact, in India it was found all the way from the west across to the east. But today they have just this one last home in Gir. And all that we have left is this one last wild population. So come with me into the world of the lion and look at how they live, helped by the Gujarat Forest Department against some overwhelming odds, and find out why is the lion so important to Saurashtra and indeed to Gujarat.
The Asiatic lion. They might stand tall on our Ashoka pillar, but today there are only 300 of them left, and all of them in India, found right here in the Gir Sanctuary and National Park in Gujarat. Once the Asiatic lion was found all over Central Asia, Arabia and Persia through into India. In fact, in India they ranged across the west through the central plains, right across to Bihar. Extensive hunting and conversion of forest land into agricultural land destroyed both the habitat and subsequently the animals themselves. Unlike the tiger and the leopard, lions being group animals did not survive the human onslaught of progress. On our first day there, trying not to wilt in the heat, we took an open jeep into the park. We were assured that that is the best way to see the lions. It is a bit of a hunt to see them though. The trees, while not being green and leafy, are numerous, making it difficult to look into the undergrowth. In the early 1900s, there were less than a dozen lions left in Gir. The Nawabs of Junagadh provided protection for the big cats, and their numbers slowly increased. The Gir is essentially a dry, deciduous forest. If you look around me, what you really see are bald trees. These trees aren't sick, they're not dead, they're very much alive. It's just that they're deciduous trees, which means they shed their leaves for most of the year. The other thing with Gir is that it's all brown earth, brown trees, brown grass, and most of it bald and golden in this color, so it really affords excellent camouflage for the animals that it has and, the predator and the prey. The lion, the leopard, the deer, they're all actually of this color, and when you drive through this forest, it's very difficult to spot them, although they could be right there in front of you. The fascinating thing about Gir is that it's one of the very few sanctuaries and national parks in India that supports up to 500 carnivores. As I said, 320 lions and the rest leopards. And this is not including the hyenas and the jackals and the other smaller predators like the jungle cat and things like that. This is just purely the lions and the leopards, and about 500, which is an incredibly huge number of non-vegetarian carnivores looking for food. And this ecosystem can actually support them, and that's because there is an adequate prey base. Gir is home to over 30,000 cheetal, it's home to sambar deer, it's home to the nilgai, the chinkara, the joshinga, some blackbuck even. So it's that kind of very healthy prey base that allows these animals to live really in not a very large area. If you look at 500 predators, it's about 1,200 square kilometers that supports these 500 predators. So right now, the jungle seems calm, but actually if you think about it, there's drama here every day, births and deaths like in an endless cycle. And this is the beauty of the Gir's biodiversity and its ecosystem. Walking around, we realize that Gir is not all dry. There are several small patches of riverine habitats. And this small bounty keeps the park functioning even in the raging summer. But it's not a never-ending bounty. This little water and grass that's left over in the summer is also used by people and cattle. The cattle inside the forest area belong to the Maldhari people, nomadic tribals who've been a part of Gir's ecosystem for a long time. Initially, there were about 129 nesses or Maldhari hutments in the park. That was about 900 families. In 1972, a scheme for their relocation was drawn up after Gir was declared a protected area. Since then, about 600 Maldhari families have been resettled outside the forest.